Welcome to my Greek adventure. I traveled across the globe to volunteer in Chios, Greece, with the organization International Volunteer Headquarters, or IVHQ for short. I want to start this video by showing you the beginning of my journey. Why don't you come along with me? I left sunny San Diego March 6th, saying goodbye to my entourage of family at the airport with the destination of Philadelphia to break up my hours of flying. It just so happened that I got to visit a high school friend and planned on going on some historical sightseeing while I was there. I left a day open in between arriving and leaving again so she could show me the city. But unfortunately, this Southern California girl forgot that Philly actually gets seasons, so we were snowed in from a nor'easter. My friend was super upset, but I was freaking out because I had never seen that much snowfall before, so without even leaving the country, I saw something spectacular. I left Philadelphia International Airport to go to Frankfurt, Germany. There I had a 5-hour layover starting from 7:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Germany time. Then I was off to Athens to spend the night before heading to the island. A crazy way to get to the island was by propeller plane, which was about a 35-minute flight. When I got to Chios, I was met by 3 ladies that I found out are a part of a European volunteer program that are staying at the same accommodation I am, and an older gentleman that happened to be the director of that program. On the way home, they invited me to one of their weekend trips. On this one in particular, they were going to visit the meadows where the wild tulips bloom every spring. What I wasn't expecting was that we were driven there by staff and then we had to walk home, which at first I didn't think anything of it. But the more they drove, the more nervous I got. The flowers were absolutely beautiful and a sight to see. Even the meadows were idyllic. However, the road back to Hotel Chios was not an easy one. Back home, I'm used to driving around everywhere and not the 4-mile hike back the way we came. That was probably the first shock of the trip. There were a couple times I was wondering if I was going to make it out of there alive with the hills we had to climb. But literally and figuratively, I took it one step at a time. I stayed at a hotel that was aptly named Hotel Chios. It was 3 different stories and I stayed on the 2nd floor with Kaylee, a volunteer from Canada. The girls from the European program stayed on the bottom floor. An aspect that I love about Greece in general is that they use a clothesline to dry their washing, which is one thing that I already do back home, but few others do. The program I participated in was entitled Food Outreach, but the first part of my journey was actually getting to my placement, which was in the city. I had about a 10-minute walk to the main road where we would wait for the bus. It took us about 30 minutes to ride into town. Once we got off at the city center, there was about another 15-minute walk to the kindergarten where I was placed. This kindergarten serves the children breakfast and lunch, and by the time I got there, the kiddos were just finishing up breakfast. The kitchen was old school, but also felt very homey. It was there I met the head cook Makis and Vaga, a student intern that was going to school to become a cook. They tag teamed together to get delicious meals out for the whole kindergarten. The kitchen cooked a variety of meals, more vegetarian because of the religious observance of Lent. The children only ate meat twice a week because of that. I kept trying to peek and ask to see what they were using and how to make the dishes they created. From what I saw, it was a lot of olive oil, lemon, and oregano. I got to have my lunches there, so everything that they made I got to have, and it was all delicious. This is what's for lunch today. Differences I have noticed while in Greece is that the parking is fair game anywhere. One thing the city cannot keep up with is the parking. Although cars are smaller, if you can find an empty side of the street or even the sidewalk, you can park there. The city center has so much history that trying to renovate for parking would lose the beauty of the culture. They even have a castle in the middle of the city. An interesting thing I noticed was that there were a lot of stray cats everywhere. Some stayed close to the hotel as well, so I could hear them throughout the day. I learned first of all that the city of Chios, although progressing with the times, loves to keep their culture and their history close. I believe that they really make it a way of life rather than the people of the United States just know about the history but not necessarily embracing it as well as the Greeks do. Something the IVHQ staff mentioned was that they were having trouble with tourism, which is important to boost the economy for the people. Even though Chios is a beautiful island, it can be hard to get there. The city is looking to expand the airport, but after they bought the land around the airport, they ran out of funding to complete the project. They're hoping to finish, but there's not an end date yet. Similarities with Greece is that we both like time to socialize with friends and family on a regular basis, such as going out for a coffee. Like I said previously, technology is modernizing out there, even though I had trouble getting my SIM card to work. What I want others to know about Greece is first and foremost, all of the people are so kind and generous. Leaving the States, I thought Greece was like one of my favorite movies, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, where they're acting very loud and extravagant, but it was not like that at all. Even in a big city like Athens, I was treated very kindly. I thought they might see me as a silly American girl, and they may have, but they didn't let it show. I'm lucky enough that this requirement to graduate pushed me out of my comfort zone and to get a global perspective. It really just had me open my eyes and broaden my horizons, but it also taught me to always stay humble. Another part that I realized about myself was that I was stronger than I thought I was, being able to travel internationally by myself. The most impactful part of my trip was how much of a communication barrier I had with the people in Greece. I'm so privileged to be taught English my whole life, but it reminded me that others learn it as a second or third language. There were times I was so frustrated that I couldn't communicate effectively that I wanted to scream. It's even kind of embarrassing to not have enough of the language to get by. It just reminded me of the fact that people who come to a new place need to start all over, and even something as simple as communication can be a huge issue. My most valuable message from this journey was to appreciate my network of family and friends. It was the FaceTime calls that helped me get through this adventure by myself. Even with 10-hour time zone differences, I still got to communicate, and even with my puppy back home. Hey College of Health and Human Services, this is Aria Hartson here, and I'm videoing you from Greece. To be more exact, I'm here in Chios in the village of Katarakis. Behind me is where I'm staying, and I'm gonna take you on a journey of my journey here in Greece. And this beautiful view that I'm walking to is just minutes from where I'm staying. And you come right along the Aegean Sea, and today we have some winds. I think it's south winds, and I'm just gonna, enjoy the ocean for a bit. Not like San Diego. Thank you, or as they would say in Greece, Efraisto, for watching my video today. Hope you enjoyed it.